12 plus years. And for the today's webinar, I would be presenting along with me, Saket is there, who is our technical head. And coming back to the agenda, let's start with the actual topic that we are covering today. So before we start, if I may ask, I mean, what is the current understanding of generative AI? If someone can explain that, have you heard this term generative AI? I'm sure everyone would. Can someone explain what is generative AI? In very simple terms, not a bookish definition, just a basic understanding. Anyone? All right, no mind. So generative AI, as the name suggests, it generates something. And why AI? Because this is a part of artificial intelligence and very much in news, very much in buzz. Every company, every individual, every organization, they are trying to cope up, ramp up their skill set, their employee skill set to be ready with the coming challenges and the opportunities which this generative AI has, disrupted the entire industry, not only IT, but almost all the industry, all the global economies it has disrupted. And the agenda for today's webinar would be as it is on the screen. We'll be talking about generative AI a little bit, like 5-10 minutes. Then moving to Microsoft Copilot, which is a very new, very recent, very powerful tool by Microsoft, and which is based on the concepts of generative AI and the way it is integrated with different Microsoft apps and Microsoft existing platform. That is where the beauty and the power of this app lies. Then we'll be discussing some basics about what are LLMs, what are foundational models, like everyone talks about ChatGPT. What is ChatGPT? What is the technology behind that? How it works? And then we'll be doing some demos also. There would be some live demos where we'll be showing some business case studies, some business uses of Copilot, and we'll be taking one white collar and one blue collar use case. One would be targeted to an IT setup and one would be targeted to a non-IT setup. Wherein I'll be sharing my screen, I'll be showing you the entire UI of Microsoft 365 Copilot. We'll be doing some live prompting there. We'll be generating some documents. We'll be generating some insights with the collaboration of different documents. So that would be in the later part of the session. But let's start with the basics. Now coming to generative AI, what is generative AI? Anyone can give any idea now? I just explained a very basic definition of generative AI. Before that, any understanding about artificial intelligence? Anyone can explain what is artificial intelligence? All right, coming back to the basics. Artificial intelligence, as the name suggests, it is a kind of technology which is based on mimicking human intelligence. Intelligence is the common word between human intelligence and artificial intelligence. But why it is artificial? Because it is not natural. It is not designed by nature. It is designed by humans. But the human intelligence is the northern star wherein this generative AI technologies are targeting. They are trying to mimic human intelligence so that machines and systems they can behave like humans behave, not only in terms of a typical robot scenario that we see in movies and different those imaginative stories, but also in all the sensory organs. They are trying to build a system which can speak like humans, which can understand like humans, which can reason like humans. And more or less, they have been very successful in not achieving the entire spectrum of that, which they call intelligence, but they are somewhere in between. I mean, they started with the basic narrow intelligence, and then they are in between of the super intelligence, which is a kind of ultimate objective, these companies, which include pioneered by OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, and a lot of other companies, which include Meta's, a lot of research, and then these X platform by Elon Musk. They're all great. Great. I got this answer from Geeta. Thanks, Geeta. So coming back to this generative AI concept, moving from AI to generative AI, and then how it takes up how it learns, how the intelligence is generated artificially, and why generative AI is different from the classical AI, which we have been observing, which we have been seeing from last so many years. AI is not a new domain, but yes, generative AI is a new domain. Why? Because therein where it starts generating something, and that generative AI could generate different models in different forms. That could be in the form of text, images, audio. There are a couple of more modalities. If anyone can guess, beside text, images, and audio, what could be the other things that generative AI can generate? Any guesses? Very common in IT industry. Say, for example, if you use ChatGPT, it can generate text for you. You give a prompt, write a poem for me, it will generate a poem. You give a text that, okay, draw this image, create an image of a, say, for example, a poster for an event. It will do that. It can generate a lot of AI, generative AI tools can generate audio. But there is one more form of content which is very popular in developer community, IT community, that is code. Generative AI nowadays is being used very popularly, very extensively to generate code. And that is where the concept of vibe coding, pair programming comes in. And a lot of these tools are specifically made to generate artificial code so that huge systems which were designed earlier with a lot of hard work by humans, they used to type, understand the syntax. So a lot of that work is being automated and being used and being accelerated by the technologies and the frameworks of generative AI. Now, how this learns? Any idea? Anyone can guess how these generative AI system learns, or what we call large language models or foundational models? So they learn from data patterns. So we'll be discussing more about it. What is the data pattern and how it learns? But these would be, if this is little technical, so it would be hardly for 10-15 minutes. Then we'll move to the actual business scenarios and some use cases, which will actually showing you the demos, how Microsoft Copilot can be used to design different business scenarios and address different business scenarios. This is a simple explanation how it works, what are its different areas, and which all areas generative AI can support, and how it is using the different the background support technologies. It is modeling vast data sets to understand and mimic underlying data patterns and distributions, which is what we call training a model. So training itself is a very technical kind of domain. So that is not our primary agenda for today's session, but I wanted to give you a brief that how a generative AI engine works. So these engines are trained on vast data sets, and that is the reason they can answer almost anything that you ask on its chatbot or chat engine. And then these understanding these data sets behave like a human intelligence using neural networks, which are fundamental algorithms which enable AI to learn and generate new content based on data. So that is how they start behaving like a human and answering like a human. And then it is collaborated, it is complemented by very smart, very advanced techniques, which include transformers and diffusion models. Transformer is the same word that we use in this acronym called GPT, Generative Pre-trained Transformers. This is a technology which is used to generate text-based output for a generative AI engine. And diffusion model is something which is used for image generation. So this would be a bit technical when we start getting deep dive into it. So we'll quickly move ahead and we'll focus more on the business part of this, the user part of generative AI. Now coming to what industries are they are using this technology, which is generative AI. Although there is no industry as on today which is untouched or which would be untouched by the impact of generative AI. But the most common kind of use cases or most common kind of areas wherein generative AI is making an impact, whether it is in the form of a chat engine like Microsoft Copilot or Chat GPT or other engines which are like cloud and for coding and other foundational model. So marketing application is something very prevalently it is being used, which include generating contents, not only marketing contents, but all the support contents, designing proposals, designing letters, designing draft, and then it is being used in designing and prototyping different ideas, which is wherein we use generative AI as your creative partner. So it can help you, it can augment in your creativity, it can augment your ideas. You come up with a thought and it can amplify it with a lot of different ideas which can be experimented in different domains. Healthcare innovation is one of a emerging field wherein there are so many companies. In fact, Optimistic Infosystem, the company I represent, we support couple of our clients which are very deep dive into using generative AI into healthcare domains. Entertainment, yes, there's a lot of innovation going in entertainment enhancement, wherein AI generates different kind of images, different kind of videos. And in fact, last year there was one complete kids movie which was built using generative AI capabilities. So as I said, it helps you generate content and it also helps you automate task. Any idea what do you mean by automating task and what is that particular word which is very common when we talk of automating task using Microsoft or generative AI? There is something called agents, AI agents nowadays. Lot of people are talking about it. So AI agents are something which are primarily meant to create systems which can act of their own, which will start from automation of task, moving towards achieving a goal. Now, you might think that, when we talk about automation of task or agent, which is replying you as a human, it is not something new. We have been using a lot of chatbots in past also. If you go to Make My Trip website or any web portal or any customer service web portal, there is a chatbot there, isn't it? And it also answers your queries like a human is answering. Then what is difference between that chatbot and the AI agents that we are talking a lot these days? Any guesses for that?
Maybe AI agent will analyze the, ask,
Correct.
and then, yeah,
Correct. Very
accordingly
near.
it will
Very
answer. Yeah.
exactly. So to just elaborate on that answer, a chatbot, which is, say, for example, is acting as a support for Make My Trip. I'm just taking that example. So we call those chatbots, they can also be called as an agent, but those agents are quite deterministic. When I say deterministic, the point here is that when we question them, when we put a query to a chatbot, it will answer with some fixed number of answer lines. So it has been programmed, say for example, to answer that particular query in either ten different answers line or 15 answer lines or 20 answer line or 25 answer lines. So if you give a query that, okay, tell me what happened to my flight which got delayed. So that chatbot has been planned with almost programmed for almost 5 or 10 different answers to that query based on the text of the query. Whether it is about flight, it will take one particular algorithm. If it is about train, it will take another particular algorithm. If it is about delay, it will give you a fixed answer for the delay. If it is for the pre-booking or canceling the booking, then it would. So there could be different 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 20, 30 scenarios, which has been pre-fed into it. But the point here is that these set of scenarios or these set of answers are limited. It could be either 10 or 15 or 20 or 30. So once that finishes or it doesn't have an answer to that, it will shift to a human support assistant. And second is that if there is a query to and fro going on, you asked a query, it answers to you, and then again you ask a query, it again answers to you. So the entire conversation might end up in 8, 9, 10, 12, or 13 or 20, a limited number of iterations. But when we talk about an AI agent can answer your queries in an unlimited manner. The number of answer lines that it has are unlimited. And why it is so? It is so because it has not been programmed on a set of algorithm or set of answer queries. Rather, it has been linked to an engine like a large language model, wherein it is not only understanding your query, but also analyzing those queries. Like I just got an answer from the quorum. It is analyzing those queries, checking those queries with the existing data set on which it has been trained. And the quantum of the data set, the amount, the size of that data set is so huge, it can come up with n numbers of context, n number of answers, n number of replies to the same query. And it can go on and so on. And based on your fresh input, it can again go plan, react, and revise its queries, revise its answers, revise its prompts. So that is the beauty about AI agents. And that is how they are different from chatbot. Another very clear differentiation could be for a similar kind of query to a chatbot, you will get a similar kind of answer. But with the AI agent or generative AI based agents, you can get different answers to the same query because it is not only reading the text, it is also understanding the context of that text. I hope we got a difference, clear difference between a traditional chatbot and an AI agent. In fact, AI agent itself is a very huge domain. It's a very huge area to explore, and a lot of experimentation, a lot of new technologies are being developed in that. And it has, in a lot of companies, it has taken a very mature level wherein companies are integrating, designing AI agents in their enterprise workflows. And there are a lot of small companies and a lot of platforms wherein people like you and me, we can also design our AI agents. And we'll show in a demo also how Microsoft Copilot help you design a small Copilot agent also within its Copilot. And that doesn't take much of technical knowledge. No, so our focus today is Copilot. Our focus is not ChatGPT or other Gemini engines, but our focus is Copilot. So let us understand how this Copilot for Microsoft 365 works. What are its fundamental supporting pillars on which it works? Now, I hope everyone understand the beauty of generative AI. So anyone who has worked or used ChatGPT, the beauty of this kind of technology lies in its capability to understand natural language. Correct? We can write anything. I mean, you can write anything in your natural language, and a lot of platforms support different languages, not only English. You can write in Hindi, you can write Hindi in Roman script. It will understand that, and multiple languages it support. But when we talk about Copilot, it again supports all the natural language, and this is what we call natural language programming interface. But the four pillars on which Copilot for Microsoft 365 stands are these. One is large language models. Of course, like I just explained, that large language models are the backbone of the Copilot and similar kind of chat, Gen AI based chat. And the most important thing when we talk about Microsoft 365 is Microsoft Graph. Why Microsoft 365 is getting so popular in enterprises and how it is different from ChatGPT? Can anyone make a wild guess? What is the primary difference between an engine or a chat engine like ChatGPT and something like Copilot for Microsoft 365? Any wild guesses? What is the primary difference? What is the core difference between these two? Anyone? Interestingly, both these chat engines are powered by a same LLM, GPT-5. But how they are different, how Copilot for Microsoft 365 is so different from something like ChatGPT or a DeepSeek. So the beauty lies in this Copilot for Microsoft 365 is that it is seamlessly integrated with your existing Office apps. We all have been using Office apps like Microsoft Word, Excel, Outlook from ages, isn't it? And we have been so proficient in using them, and it is so integrated, particularly, especially in our work environment. Probably in our personal usage, we might be focused more on Gmail and other mailing tools. But when it comes to work, lot of there is a very large market share of Microsoft Office productivity tool. Now, this Copilot for Microsoft 365 sits on this tool and it enhances their capability and it eases the use of these tools with the power of NLP and large language models. So we'll be looking into that in little detail also in this session in next 5 to 10 minutes. And the fourth is that it is connected with internet. When we say it is connected with internet, can anyone tell me why it is connected with internet? Or can someone tell me what is the training cutoff date for a model? Because we just understood that these models are being trained on vast set of data. So the point here is that this training data would be dated. When I say dated, so this model are being trained on a large set of data, but there would be a cutoff date. For example, if there is a system which is being developed by OpenAI, a GPT-4 or GPT-3, I'm talking about the earlier versions of GPT. So there was a cutoff date that this data, this model is trained, say, for example, 31st March 2023. So it would have all the relevant information till 31st March 2023. So if you ask it any question, any query on any world event which has happened till that date, it can answer correctly, promptly, and with very ease. But if you ask something after that, which could be a current affair, it could be a political change, it could be a very recent news, it might not be able to answer that because, and it used to happen like a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, when ChatGPT was in its first version, when it was launched for the first time. But then what they did, they grounded this with internets. So nowadays, most of these chat engines and most of these models, they are grounded with internet. That means it can not only explain you or answer your query for the till the cutoff date, but also it can reach out to web and get your query answered and give you a reply. And that is how it is connected with internet. So these are the four areas which powers Copilot for Microsoft 365. Like I told you, Microsoft Graph is the core backbone wherein it is connecting the entire Office application suite and supporting Copilot with its prompts. When I say supporting Copilot, what does this mean? So we'll just have a demo and we'll understand there that Microsoft Copilot can be used in individual apps. You can use Microsoft Copilot in Word separately, Excel separately, Outlook separately, or it can be used with all these apps. You can prompt a query, you can write a prompt in the chat of Microsoft Copilot, which extract data from different sources. I'll just give you an example, very nice, analogy on this. Say, for example, in Optimistic Infosystem, we work with different client requirements, different training requirements. And these training requirements are pretty unique. Say, for example, like 2, 3 years back, 3 years back, say our team was working on a very niche, very advanced training requirement, which had a combination of 3, 4 technologies, and client wanted to design a very curated, very customized, very unique, very niche blended kind of learning model. And there was a lot of email exchanges that happened 2, 3 years back between the client, between our resourcing team, between our technology team. And there's a lot of email communication, a lot of brainstorming, a lot of idea sharing happened over an email. Now, say for example, 3 years back when this project was being discussed, it did not materialize. But lot of effort has gone, lot of brainstorming, lot of idea generation has already gone into that. And it has been stored as a form of emails. And emails are dated like 3 years back or 4 years back. And say today, if I get an inquiry from a new client and I understand as a salesperson or I understand as a business person that this requirement is somewhere similar to the requirement we have worked there in past. So there are two ways now to approach. One, I go back to my Outlook old emails, read every email, try to understand what happened, and then collate it with my new requirement, new proposal, try to understand how that earlier knowledge, earlier brainstorming that we did, how can it can be used, and it can be used in the proposal for the new requirement. With a tool like Microsoft Copilot, which is powered by Microsoft Graph, we can just write a prompt that analyze those emails on this particular subject line and try to incorporate the knowledge we got there or the content we designed there and put it in a proposal for this new requirement. So we'll show that as a demo also. So this is the power of Microsoft Copilot, which can ease your task seamlessly, which can help you reduce your effort seamlessly. So this is an architecture of Microsoft Copilot, how it works. Like I told you, it takes large language models and then it is grounded with the Microsoft graph, which includes your office related, your company related areas, your company related data, knowledge, and information. So we won't be not be spending much time on this slide because it's more of a technical thing. We'll be moving to the business part of the tool. So these we have already discussed: the content generation, summarization, analysis, and task automation and contextual understanding. This is what I would like to repeat again, that the Copilot works seamlessly with Microsoft 365 app, including Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook to enhance user experience. And it provides across platforms. We can use it on different apps, and we can use on different platforms, and it can be used in web as well as desktop or in the mobile also. Before I move forward, I'd like to take a pause and would like to understand so far if there has been any queries or any questions. Any queries so far?
I think we are good now, just thank you.
Great, thanks. Thanks for confirming. So this is a kind of a little deep dive into generative AI. What could be the different kind of generative AI wherein we talk about human-like text generation, and that is why we use this term called large language models. And when we say large language model, it indicates the largeness of the data set it has been trained upon, and also the largeness of the parameters it is being using to give you understand your prompt and give a reply to that. So that is how it can act, and it can respond like a human text generation. And there could be different models also. There could be an image generation model. There could be an audio generation model. Second important point is that it understands the context of the language. Say if we give a prompt and it talks about someone going to a bank of a river, or someone going to a bank to withdraw money. So although the words remain the same, the bank, but it can understand the context. And it happens with the algorithms that it has been trained upon. So here comes the other models of generative AI, which include visual content generation, and it can include content which is text as well as images. So just to share a very interesting point here. Some of the models, they can only understand text, and some of the models, they can only understand a image. But there are few models which can understand both. Sometimes there is an image which has some colors and some text also written on it. So there are different models which can understand both. Generally, we upload, or say if sometime what happens, like while developers are coding something, they are getting stuck somewhere. So they just take the screenshot of that and they upload on ChatGPT or Copilot and ask the model to analyze what is the issue here, or what is the problem, how to debug it, what is the error here. So those model not only understand the text which is being written, but also understand the context of that, the image, the tabs or the buttons or the other UI part of that particular screenshot, which is being supposed to be debugged and get an answer. So coming back to some of the basic large language models, which we'll be discussing. So these are some of the areas, some of the LLM related models, and some information about that. What is the training and what is language understanding? But I would like to focus more on what kind of popular LLMs are there. Any guesses how many LLMs are there or how many foundational models are there so far? Anyone? Would it been hundreds or tens or thousands? Interesting part is that although people like you and me who are not very savvy with the updates in the deep dive updates, we are using not more than 3 to 5 models, and we are aware about not more than 15 to 20 models. But as on today, there are more than 10,000 foundational models which has been developed. And these foundational models, every foundational model has its own kind of usage, on kind of use case. There are some foundational models which are specifically for medical industry. There are foundational models which are specifically for retail industry. So the kind of pace it has taken, the model development and the kind of innovation which is happening, it is happening at rocket pace. So for a person like me who would like to upgrade and stay updated, it becomes very important that I stay updated on these all areas. And mostly I'll try to calculate the habit of using generative AI in my day-to-day, whether office or personal productivity. But I have listed some of the most common LLMs which are being used in nowadays office as well as personal productivity. And interestingly, OpenAI is one of the most popular, most commonly used. And this is our focus of attention today because OpenAI is the one and its model LLM is powering our Microsoft Copilot also. Although if you are a super user or a power user of Microsoft platform Azure, you would see that within Azure, they have hosted so many other LLMs also. It is not only GPT they are offering. You can have an access to Meta's LLMs. You can have access to the foundational model from Cohere, from Anthropic, from other also. But when it comes to Microsoft Copilot, they are primarily using Chat GPT, GPT 5.0 is also there. And but recently, last week, I got this update somewhere on the internet that for the GitHub Copilot, they have also integrated Anthropic foundational model. So, and not only this OpenAI, lot of progress is happening in Google Gemini also. And the way we have Microsoft Copilot, Google has its Gemini engine, which is integrated again, like Microsoft Copilot is integrated in all the Microsoft apps. Google has integrated Gemini in all of its Office apps, which include Sheets and Slides and a lot of other stuff. Sure. These are the foundational model in AI, which are for base of AI task. And then we use these foundational models to design our specific related to domain related thing. And these are some key terminology. Again, I'll move fast because we are not focusing much of technology. I would like to show you some demos also. Great. So this I've been discussing and emphasizing again and again that Microsoft 365 has integrated Microsoft Copilot in almost all the Word documents, all the Microsoft apps, including Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, even Teams. And the way it is being done, it enhances the use and it eases the use of using these apps. And also it helps in collaboration and a seamless integration between these apps. And it is available on desktop as well as on web model. So I'll show that demo and I'll describe you there. And Microsoft 365 Copilot is available on mobile devices also. So before we start this, I'll just like to show you a demo, and I'll like to show you the interface of Microsoft Copilot. I hope that is fine with everyone. We'll jump to the demos.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Great. Just give me a moment. All right. I hope everyone can see my screen now, right? Can you confirm?
Yes, Navjot, we can see it.
Great. So what I have done, I'll put it very, very simply for everyone's understanding and the ease of use. The best way to access Microsoft Copilot would be via web chat, which is a link, which is copilot.microsoft.com. So I'll start from exactly the basic part of that. I'll just type copilot.microsoft.com. Now, interestingly, if you see it, there are two options I'm getting. One is my personal login and one is my work related login. Any idea what is the difference between these two? And let me first try to log in into my personal login. Let me try. I'll just show you what is my personal login. I'll continue with Microsoft. And this, by the way, anyone can go and it is asking me again. In fact, I have used the same username for both. I'll go to personal account. Let's see how it lands up. And this is what I have got. Does this look familiar? I mean, anyone? I mean, does this not look like a chat GPT? And it has almost the similar kind of options we have. And doesn't it work? Let's see. Let's try to experiment. Let's try. And just remember that I'm in my personal login. I'm so far, I have not touched Microsoft Copilot 365, which is our core topic. I'm showing you a scaled down version of that, and it comes free of cost. Anyone who would like to experiment, they can just go to a website, a browser, type copilot.microsoft.com, create a login, and start using it like we use a free version of ChatGPT. All right, let's try. Let's see. Help me write a small email describing offerings of my training company, which is 12 years old. Let's see. I hope everyone can see the screen.
Yes, Navjot, yes.
So what they have done, this engine has given me a very nice kind of response, wherein it has suggested a subject line and it has kind of drafted a template. And mind you, it doesn't have any idea about my training company. It doesn't have any idea about where I work. I have not set any parameters so far, but it has given a very nice email draft. Sounds good. And if I want to improve this response, what I can do, I can improvise this prompt. I'll go back and I'll give some more, I'll add some more context. So what kind of context that can be added here? I have just added, so far I have just told there's a training company and it is 12-year-old. Say if I add this, we have been working with 100 plus clients and supporting Fortune 500 companies globally in online and offline, both modes. Let's see if the response changes. Of course, it will change because the prompt is better. Let's see. Better than the earlier one. But still, it is not reading about my company. It doesn't know what my company does. Its information, its response is restricted only to the prompt that I have written, the context I have added. Although it is quite powerful. I mean, we can use we can have a different use cases for this. And there is something called study and learn, which is into ChatGPT also. So if someone want to explore and start, I would suggest this comes at no cost because this is a free offering by Microsoft Copilot, like we have the free offerings from for ChatGPT. Don't have to pay anything, can start using it immediately. And it's quite powerful. And I would like you all to explore something called study and learn also, which is a very nice kind of option which we have within this, wherein you can ask this tool to help you learn a new skill. So it can help you learn like a tutor. But our focus, our attention, our agenda for day is not this. Our agenda for day is Office 365 Copilot. So what I'll do, I'll go back, I'll log out from here. And now I'll try to sign in my work account. Now, before I sign in and enter into it, I like to explain. So this is a paid version of Office 365, or sorry, of Microsoft Copilot. And it has been purchased by my company as a top up on my 365 license. So the Copilot license can be purchased only on the top of Office 365 licenses, and that too for a specified categories. Let us experiment and let us log in into this. I'll put the password and then it will ask me for a sign in. It has signed in. And I'll go to work. Again, it is giving me two options. I'll go to work, which is my corporate login. Let's see why it is stuck. Great. So we landed in Office, Microsoft Copilot 365. I hope you can see there is a lot of difference in the UI and the options that I get in this kind of homepage of Microsoft Office 365 Copilot as compared to my personal, which is a free Copilot login. Now I'll start from here. I'll just take 2-3 minutes to explain the different UI, different options I get here. Now this is almost like a ChatGPT chatbot engine that we use. If I am assuming that everyone must have used either ChatGPT or Gemini or some kind of generative AI chat engine. So it is almost the same. But the primary difference is that if I give a similar kind of prompt, say we gave a prompt about writing an email. I gave a similar kind of prompt, write an email introducing my company offerings, refer the marketing material in my OneDrive. Let's see. This is a live demo. It can make mistakes. Huh? Let's be patient with this. All right. It has given a very nice response. So what all I have told this engine is that write an email, introduce my company offering, refer the marketing material in my OneDrive. I hope we can appreciate the difference now. Look at the response it has given. It has made this email very tailored, very specific, and very relevant to optimistic infosystem, wherein it has scanned my OneDrive. Of its own, it has gone to all my corporate profile and other areas, other documents which are there, which I don't have to specify. I just gave a generic kind of request in a natural language. I never mentioned that go to this particular PDF or go to that particular Excel. I have just mentioned the marketing material in my OneDrive. And to be very honest with you, I don't have any folder by the name marketing material in my OneDrive. So it is understanding the context. So when I say marketing material, it understands what kind of material I need to refer to. So look at the response it has given. It has spoken about our clients. It has also given the references from where it has picked this. It has spoken about our clients. It has spoken about our offerings, and it has spoken about our trainer network. It has spoken about what we have been doing recently. It is like focus on AI engineers, AI literacy, and it has gone to our website, in fact, and some of our taglines, and they have taken this transform learning into business impact. So this is something I want all of you to appreciate, because this is happening only because of the fundamental pillars of Copilot 365, and most importantly, the graph, the power of Microsoft Graphs, which is helping us to collaborate across apps. It has gone to OneDrive. It has taken OneDrive. Let me try to improve this prompt. Let's try to make it better. So what I'll do, I'll type the same prompt and specify that, and also check the feedback of our few last deliveries and mention that too. Never mind the typo, because most of the time it understands the context as far as the typo is not very grave. Let's see if it goes and check the feedback also. Let's see. Great. So it has almost the same kind of response. Let's see if correct. So what is it has done? It has gone to our OneDrive. It has picked some latest feedback wherein trainer Saket has delivered something for Zinsar. There was some training for Microsoft. There's some training for Emerson Pune. And it has given the references. And if you look closely, it is not only referring my OneDrive, it is also referring my emails. So any email which has the feedback, it has gone there, referred that emails, referred that material which is relevant to the query, relevant to the prompt, and given me an output which is so very relevant, so very close to what I have in mind. So this is the beauty of Microsoft 365, because it is integrated with all your Microsoft apps. Now what we'll do, this is the chat access of Copilot. So let us first understand this entire window for next 5 minutes. Then we'll go and do a small demo on individual apps. We'll do a small 5 minutes, 3 minutes demo on Microsoft Word, another on Excel, and another on Outlook. So let's try to understand this. I guess everyone has heard about prompt engineering, right? It's quite a buzzword.
Yes, yes.
So prompt engineering, of course, it is a buzzword and it is a skill. And prompt engineering, although I personally feel it is overhyped, because it is more of putting your query in a proper manner, and it is very easy to learn. But still, the point is that as we start interacting with machines in natural language, so our psychology, like human psychology, is using less word when we are, say, when we are very casual with someone. So we just use very short words because we know that the other person understands the context. But we have to keep in mind, ultimately, Ultimately, these are machines. It's not a human who is looking at our face, our expression, our body language, and making a assumption or making a understanding of what we are trying to communicate. So though it is a natural language, but if we use a proper format, then the results would be much better. So in the same prompt, I'll just show you one small improvement, and then I'll give you the trick, like why these all efforts are not required when you're using Microsoft Copilot. So let us try to first improve, put some manual effort, put some apply some mind, and we'll try to improve this prompt by giving it. So far, it has been very casual. Write an email introducing my company offering, refer the marketing material in in OneDrive. Now, what I am doing there in this prompt, I'm adding a component as a prefix. I'm adding some two, three words as a prefix, and I'm giving it a role. Say, I'm telling you, act as a expert, say, sales consultant. Write an email introducing my company offering, refer the marketing material in OneDrive to a customer which is into oil and gas industry. So I'm targeting a Middle East company which is into oil and gas. So I'm revising my prompt, and what I have done, I have given it a role, act as an expert sales consultant, and I have given it a context, customer which is into oil and gas industry. Now this prompt has become little more specific. So this is what we call, this is a very small example of what we call prompt engineering. Prompt engineering means writing a better prompt to get a better result. Now, the smart move, which is from Microsoft Copilot, is that we have a prompt coach within Microsoft Copilot 365. Let me show you the benefits and the capabilities of that. I had a prompt, which was the version 1 of my prompt, very raw, very casual. I put some manual effort. I tried to better the prompt, given some context. Now, let's see what it does. I have just clicked on prompt coach, and this prompt has gone to the prompt coach window. And now let's see what all options I have. Herein, I have 6 options. It can help me generate a prompt to be used in Copilot. It can analyze my prompt. It can check the compliance of my prompt, whether this prompt is as per the guidelines, the ethical guidelines of Microsoft. And then there is a generic kind of prompt engineering guidelines. And say, in case you are writing a prompt and you're not getting a satisfactory output, then it can also help you design a prompt, and it can show you some good example of prompt. Let's try this option. Help me generate a prompt to be used in Copilot. Herein, it has given us a very clear, concise, short guidelines that when you write a prompt, what should be your approach. So it says that you have to give a goal, you have to give a context, you have to give a source, you have to give expectation. So this can be explored in detail because prompt coach is something which is very interesting and very useful. So this kind of feature is not in, I don't see in any other chatbot engines so far, Gen AI chat engines so far, because it is helping you write a better prompt. So the entire prompt engineering effort can be replaced by this feature of Copilot. All right, so I would like to move ahead because we have less time and we have to touch a lot of areas here. And this is the basic chat. We'll be also touching something on the researcher or analyst, which is more of like an agent, the basic pre-built agent. And before that, I like to show very exciting feature, which is Outlook email summarizer. Now herein, within this chat, you don't have to go to Outlook and check last 20 emails, what has happened. So if I write a prompt, say I'll write something like summarize all my Outlook email conversation in last 10 days pertaining to, say, Gen AI trainings. Let's see what the response is. Sometimes it acts up because it has to connect to Exchange server. Let's see. Looks like it is acting up. So we'll give a simpler prompt. Say summarize all my Outlook email conversation with, say, my colleague Vikas in last 3 days. So great. So what it has done, it has gone and given me some details about my communication with Vikas. So I don't have to go and check all the email from Vikas. Now this facility would be in my mobile app also, 365 mobile app. If I'm on a move, I just want some brief ideas, some concise, some very short description about what we have been discussing, what Vikas has been sharing with me in last 3 days over an email. So it has so nicely put it in a different category, three different categories, and then it has given me all the execution related details, proposal related details. So this is something we can use very extensively when we want to summarize our Outlook. So this was about Outlook email summarizer. And then we have this chat, which is the first window which opens. We have checked that also. We have discussed prompt coaching also. And one very smart, interesting thing, which is about create. Now, create is something more towards designer and creating uh, graphical and images. Now, within this 365, we have all the models. We have the text model, we have the image model, and in fact, we have a video model also. Say, I mean, if we are looking to create a small poster, say design a poster for upcoming Diwali bash in our office. A kind of, very useful prompt for HRs and for any event upcoming in our office. And let us give some context. Keep it, say, retro and traditional, and use light colors. Do not use any text. And interestingly, you add your brand color also. So in case you are running a business and you have a particular brand policy about your images, that this should be the font, this should be the color of the image, or any marketing collateral. So this can also be added, and it can be added one time also. You add that brand color one time, or if you want to experiment, you can give some other colors also. Designing, well, let's try, because it takes time to generate an image. Takes around like 10-15 seconds. We're running short of time. Anyone who has been using ChatGPT for a few months in the audience, even if the free version? No
Yes,
one?
Navjot, I've been using it. Yeah.
Great, great. Because
Yeah.
same lines I've been using, I started my journey on GenAI with ChatGPT, but I found this tool particularly little not that easy to use, but much more capable than ChatGPT features.
Right.
In fact, the engine is same. I mean, it is powered by GPT-5. That is also powered by GPT-5. But Microsoft has done a wonderful job in syncing with the corporate needs, and it is unmatchable, I would say. Look at it. it has created something, right, based on the prompt. Now, the another beauty here is that we can revise this image. You don't have to cancel, delete this image. But if you want some revision to be done once this image is rendered completely, if you want to change the color, you want to make it more vibrant, you want to make it less vibrant, you want it to make it jazzy, you want to make it retro look or some different, you want to make it in a style of oil painting. Those all can be done here with the extra prompt that we give. And also, if you want to add an image so that your created image refer this image and it is based on this particular image, that can also be done. So we'll quickly move to the next part of that, which is very important. So far, what we have been doing, we are using the capability of Microsoft 365 Copilot within this chat engine of this. So wherein we have accessed the chat, we have understood how to use a prompt coach. We have understood how to access, summarize Outlook emails. And then we have also checked what could be the how we create those images and those videos and all. And then there is a small thing about apps wherein we can create some apps also, but that is not our. Now the apps is these are pre-built apps. So what I'll do, we can access those apps here also, and we can also access these apps directly if we open that app. So I'll just stop sharing this and I'll open my Word app. Just give me a moment. All right, let's check this out. So what I have done, now I am inside my Word. Or better, let me close this and I'll start from very basic. I'll start opening my Word. So I'll open my Word document. Guess I've lost the screen, right? I hope everyone can see the screen, right? I mean, this is visible now. So the beauty here is that with Microsoft 365 Copilot license with me, Pro license, which is on top of 365, I get a Word document like this. So even if I go and open a new Word document, say I'll do like this, new blank document, it always gives me a prompt here. Always give me a window to add my prompt. Almost similar to what we get inside ChatGPT. So mostly people who have been using ChatGPT for their productivity, what they do, they give a prompt to ChatGPT, ask them to design a document, either download it there in the form of Word or as a PDF, or other ways that we copy paste the output and we paste in the Word. So now here what we are doing within Word, since it is integrated with Copilot 365, we can directly give a prompt here in the Word documents to draft something. Now, say let's start with that Diwali bash thing, right? So we'll take this create. Give me a moment. I'll just show you some prompt which is very interesting. We'll take that Diwali example ahead. Like we'll just try to arrange a Diwali bash and let's see how Copilot can help us in all the form. Create a professional proposal for a office Diwali bash. Include the event theme, key activities, budget highlights, and expected benefits like employee engagement and bonding. Keep the tone festive but suitable for a corporate audience. Let's see what it returns. Of someone who is looking at this interface, this Copilot integrated Word app for the first time. So this would be very interesting for people like us who have been using Word for ages. Although Word itself is quite capable, and with the revised versioning and a lot of new features have been added in Word. But this is something very unique because now the generation of the document or the text or what you actually want that document to draft, you are just putting a prompt, you are just putting a query or a prompt with the context, and you are getting an output. And this output is again open to customization. This output is open to changes. Now let's see, let's analyze what it has done. It has taken my input prompt. It has given me an introduction. I might like it, I might not like it. So let's analyze that way. Now it has key activities very clearly mentioned. It has given budget highlights also because I have mentioned that it has taken some assumptions, and it has given me a total budget, expected benefits, and there is a conclusion. Now I have an option to make some changes here. Say I want it to be add something more. Say I want add a nice fun tagline for this event. So already it has mentioned a theme, illuminate and connect. Or let's do this. Suggest a different theme name for this event. And let's give some more context, which touches environment, safety, and sustainability. Sustainability. Let's see how. Let us see if it has. Look at the change. What it has done, it has changed the theme name, right? And this was just a small change, but we can change the entire tone. We can change the entire the message, or we can give more customization to this. But again, since we are running short of time, I'll keep it short. And what we'll do, we'll either keep it or discard it. Now there is this prompt, which is regenerate. So even if you like the entire output, entire content, entire draft, but you would still want a different variation of this, you can just click on this and it will regenerate with the same prompt, but with some kind of, different uh, output. So say it has taken my last prompt and it has generated that. And it has given another option for the theme name, which is more towards environment, safety, and sustainability. So this is something. And interestingly, a very important feature that now we have a 3 draft of this prompt, and these all are saved. It's not like we have lost it. If you look at it is 3 of 3. If I go to first, so this was my first response, correct, which had this illuminate and connect. Then I gave a suggestion and I tried to make it little different. I got a second uh, output, which I changed the theme. And it was a third one. I guess it by mistake took the last output and prompted on that. So now we have a choice. We can keep on changing this, revising this, but Word is giving me an option. Copilot is giving me an option that all my outputs, all my varied outputs are there, and I can choose any one. So I'll go with the second one and I'll kind of keep it. When I keep it, I have to save this. And most importantly, these all thing will work only if these documents are saved in the OneDrive in my cloud. So it has automatically saved it my OneDrive, which is document 2. Now this was about the Word. I hope you have liked the power of Copilot within Word. There are more features we can discuss in some another discussion, because I wanted to show you about PowerPoint also. So let us now, open the PowerPoint window and see how it works. And we'll take the same example. I'll share my screen. Give me a moment. So, all right. So this is my slide, which I've been using for this presentation. So what I'll do, I'll just show you how Copilot works in PowerPoint app. I'll go and create a new PowerPoint file. I'll click here and I'll click on new. Now, if you look at this interface, these options, so there is an option create with Copilot. So either we go to blank presentation and we find a Copilot chat option there, or we entirely start with the Copilot thing. So I'll click on here. It will open up a window wherein I can give a prompt about what kind of presentation I want. Now it could be I give a prompt like I give prompt anywhere else, like, create a presentation or 10 slide deck for my Diwali bash. Let's see what it does. Or the better idea could be, even if I click on this and ask it to prepare, it will design a very nice Diwali bash presentation, but it would be little vague. The response would be little generic. So what I'll do, I'll give a reference file. So what I have done, I have just created a report and a proposal. So what I'll do, I'll go to reference files, which is a very, very nice feature, wherein we can go to reference file and it will give me, first of all, the recent documents that I have created, which include this Diwali bash. So I'll click here because this document has been saved in my cloud, my OneDrive. It has picked from there. And I just tried create a presentation about Diwali bash. It is again generic. I can add something like keep only 10 slides. Though we'll tell 10 slides, it doesn't follow that at times. And another important thing is that it is giving me an option for different designs. So I can take this recent design or some other design presentation template. Let's take this only, select design, and I'll give this okay. Okay, let's create this. Now let's see what kind of presentation it creates. All right, so it has created some presentation. Let's see what kind of deck it has created. Estimated number of slides 16, maximum 40. And let's see what kind of slides it generates. So what it has done, that first report that I've created, the proposal that I've created using Word, same document it has picked up. Similarly, it can pick up an Excel document also. If there is an Excel file, say for example, it has some information about some feedbacks or some reports, and you want it to be presented in a form of a slide deck, same you can use there, connect it there. And again, you can customize it. It's not like, it has created something and that is hard and fast. You have to use that. You can add something. You want to change the picture. You want to change the look and style. And let's see what it has created. It has taken everything there. Something they have taken from the of its own. I mean, this is how it works because it has taken 17 October as the Diwali date. Probably from the web it has taken. And then since we have kept it, and let's see. So, Gita, how much you rate this presentation out of 10? Hello, can anyone rate this presentation? Let's see, because this has given me a presentation which is nice, but there could be a lot of improvements. So this is what I wanted to share with you
Navjot, I
about.
cannot see the presentation. Maybe I think you stopped
Give me a
sharing.
moment, give me a moment, give me a
Yeah,
moment.
yeah. Sorry.
Now,
Yes, now I can see. Now I can see. Yeah.
so what we have done, we have just taken that Word document created by a
Hmm. Yeah.
prompt and attached that to the PowerPoint Copilot, and it has created a deck.
Yeah.
We have not given much detail, we
Much.
have not given much context, but it has created something.
Something. Yeah. Right.
It's not bad, but we can add a
Yeah.
lot of stuff, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And now we can, the way we have created this presentation, we have added more context. Say if you want to create a presentation on the Diwali Bash asking for budget to the finance team, then it could be a different one. So we'll quickly move because we're already, running short of time, and I'll do a small demo on the Excel part also. So I'll keep it, and now I'll open Excel Copilot in Excel. I'll open a blank book. So in Excel, you have to for PowerPoint and Word, you get this window for Copilot interaction. So herein you have to click on here, Copilot, and go to App Skills. You have to turn autosave. It goes to OneDrive. And now what we'll do, we'll create for the same Diwali Bash activity, we'll ask it to prepare a budget table for an office Diwali Bash. And let's see if we can refer that here. No, we cannot refer that here, but for the Office Diwali Bash with different categories. Let's see what it creates. It takes time because Excel takes some time. And let's see if it has created something. It is a simple budget table. It has given me this output for an Office Diwali Bash. Get deeper real. I'll say add this to sheet 1. So what we have done for a small event to be planned, we are using Microsoft Copilot within different apps, and it has created this, and I click on insert to new sheet. So now it has inserted into this sheet. So it has saved lot of effort in manually writing and designing this budget and all. And then we can, we can customize it. We can give further some advanced prompt on this, like say, for example, revise this, say our finance doesn't approve this cost. In case our finance just approves 60% of the budget. So it will revise here, and we'll have a different sheet. We can give a comparative presentation to our managers, our management. Okay, if we get this much of budget, these all things can be planned. If we get half budget, these activities need to be removed, so and so forth. I mean, we can use Excel in a very nice manner, just using prompts. We'll do this small demo last one, and then we'll wind up. So it has done. So it has insert column. So I've just mentioned that finance is not approved 100%, it has approved 60%. So again, this sheet can be used to present to your management and so on and so forth. So this was about a small demo. And let's see if we have anything else. So Geeta, I like to wind up now because we are already
Yeah.
running short of time. right?
Yes, yes,
So it was a short thing, and we thought of at least introducing Microsoft Copilot
yes,
365. And there's a detailed course which gets a very deep dive. It can take a lot
yeah,
of use cases, advanced use
yes.
cases, and I hope
Interesting.
you like
Yeah.
it. Right?
Interesting, Navjot. Thank you so much for your time. I know you spent so much of time and explained so patiently, and really appreciate your support on this. Thank you so
Right.
much. And few things which I didn't know,